stuff. But I will say just quickly about Brian Flores, he's one of the greatest guys that I know, and I'm a huge fan and known him a long time. He was college roommates with my youngest brother, and just a huge fan of Brian Flores.
Tell me a little bit more about him, and without even getting into the lawsuit, yeah, he's become an interesting figure in all this because of what he is risking, right? Potentially his career as a head coach in order to stand up for something he believes. We talked to Andrew Brandt, who I know you've got a relationship with, right? He was did your first deal. And Andrew was telling us today that he's not even really seeking monetary damages. There's some, but the primary part of this lawsuit is not monetary. He's seeking injunctive change. He's essentially seeking the league to make changes to its policies and transparency and in documentation in their hiring process. Tell me a little more about who Brian Flores is.
Yeah, he's a leader. I mean, he's a leader of men. And, he's only been with one organization in his coaching career. So he played at Boston College, and then after college took a job, a low-level job with the New England Patriots. A guy in his 20s working as many hours in the week as there are hours, and just has worked his way up all the way to the point where he's essentially the defensive coordinator. And then he goes in his very next job, the very next organization he works for, he's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He'd never been in another organization besides the New England Patriots. Really, everything that he does or knew as a coach, he learned from Bill Belichick. And that was his mentor, his work partner, and all of it. And sometimes, sometimes you go into a new head coach situation, you see some of those people that come from the Belichick tree, they're maybe a little more direct and maybe not as soft with the media, and maybe they're not like walking softly with a big stick, so to speak. I mean, it's just, this is how we're doing it. And so that's what I know about him as a person, as a coach. He's a leader. He doesn't back down from anything. It's one of the reasons that the players love him so much. It's one of the reasons that guys who coach with him love him so much. But again, I just think the courage that he has shown to step up for not only what's going on right now, but also to step up for those who come after him is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day talking about this, and we'll see what happens. I mean, this is a class action lawsuit. So far, he's the only name on it, but I don't think it's going to surprise anybody if his name is joined by other black coaches in and around the NFL with similar allegations to what he said as well. We may see some legitimate, forcing of the hand of NFL owners and the league in general in terms of its hiring practices. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And the league has talked about, a lot about how this is important to them. Well, this would be an opportunity for them to back that up and to prove that this is important.